Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Lisa with Lisa's Faith and Budget Planning channel. I'm excited to be here today. It is Halloween. It's the last day of October and we are going to close out my entire October budget. Now I have not filmed this. I have not done the month of October for you guys. I skipped that month filming and then came back, but I still did all the things I always do on my own when I had the time, and I'm just going to kind of walk through a little bit of that and close out the budget. And the way I close out my budget is everything kind of rolls over from paycheck to paycheck until, and week to week and paycheck to paycheck until the end of the month. And then all I have to do is close out my weekly check-in, bring those numbers over, and close out paycheck 3, and I know my final numbers before the new month starts. Now, because of how my husband gets paid, he is retired Navy, so he gets paid the first of every month for a retirement check as well as a disability check, and our son pays us rent at the first of every month. We start all our budgets on the first of the month, rolling into the next month. So any money left over in October will actually go into savings. It's not a lot, it's a little bit, but it's something, and we're excited about that. So I'm glad we didn't go negative because my husband and I both were born in October, and as you can see, I have like happy birthday written down in here. And so yeah, we tend to spend a lot more on this month. So I'm glad we did not go over as far as how much income came in and how much spending went out. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to save the flip through of everything we did to the end. So if you don't want to see that, don't worry about it. Once I finish the weekly check-in and the paycheck 3 closeout, you don't have to finish the video, but if you want to see what the whole planning process looks like, I will flip through all the pages. So let's go ahead and get to my weekly check-in. So here is the weekly check-in. I do typically a 5-week, sometimes a 4-week weekly check-in. This month I did 5 because there's a few days left over and before the new month, and we're going to do that. And I have paycheck 3 set up over here and ready to put all the variable expenses in, and the weekly check-in will help me with that. So let's go ahead and go to my calendar here, where I have a second calendar for spending. The first calendar is for bills, second calendar is for spending. Now I've already written down everything. I didn't forget, I needed to take and write and show you guys. Here is all the spending, and the only bill that I have on this calendar that went to the credit card is this Christian counseling, $70. And so I already have that on here. So that's the only bill that we have on here. And then down here at the bottom, we have transactions for what we spent already. Now these 2 days actually were September. I needed the 29th and 30th came into October. I needed that extra cushion rotation. So these have already been accounted for in these 2 blocks, but 27th through the 31st are what we are working with right now. And we are going to go ahead and check off the transactions that I do have. So I have 8 transactions total from the 27th to the 31st. And the first 3 I have here are grocery household. The first one, Walmart pickup. I did a pickup at Walmart for groceries this time. They had specific things that I needed that my Myers store didn't have, and some things were cheaper there. So I went ahead and did a full grocery pickup there, $183.77. And then I did stop at Meijer for a couple items that Walmart didn't have, and it's on my way home, so it wasn't that big deal. $18.38. So there's that. Now if I have to go too far out of my way as far as groceries, I will not. I will go between these 2 stores and make my decisions off that. The last one I have, I just came home. I had to pick up Halloween candy. It's the last day of October. It's Halloween. It's at 2 in the afternoon, and I've got my little table set up, which was really cute. I like to sit outside and pass out candy. I don't like getting up 10 million times in the evening to pass out candy, so I have my little Halloween table set up right there. It's so cute. And I got my little Scooby-Doo on there, and I'll probably have like a portable DVD player that has Scooby-Doo and playing in the background. So I'll pass out candy, bundle up in blankets, and because it's going to be in the 40s tonight. It's going to be cold. But we'll see if we get any trick-or-treaters. And I'm just happy I got my table out, so it was really cute. But I got some Halloween candy, things that my son requested, and we are traveling soon. So I wanted to get sandwich bread to make sandwiches if we didn't want to go out and grab something to eat. Peanut butter and jelly, ham sandwiches, things like that. And then I also got, what else? I was going to make muffins before we left as well, and that way if we oversleep and we miss the continental breakfast at the hotel, we don't have to rush around. We can grab something to eat before we go out for the day and stuff like that. So I like to do things like that, and so I got groceries at the house for the house and for the travel. And let's go ahead and total these numbers up. Okay, so that is $274.02. And that's pretty good. And we're still within budget as far as two of these categories. Some of these categories I'm over budget in for the entire month, but I had enough overall for the budget to cover everything. So even though we're over in certain categories, the buffer, the checking account took care of it, and it was not that big a deal. So I am happy. And the other categories that the money I didn't spend in other categories, that also helped cover it. So that was pretty awesome. We'll see that in a minute. But restaurants here, we have Papa John's. We've been enjoying watching Loki on Disney Plus for now. The next thing I have, okay, it says Buc-ee's, which is, if you know, a very famous and large gas station with over 121 pumps and a huge store on the inside. They make amazing pulled pork sandwiches, brisket sandwiches, just great travel sandwich food. And we have one like right down the road from our house. And about once a month or so, my son will want some pulled pork sandwiches. And I don't fix that at home. We don't eat it enough at home. And so, yeah, he wanted to go. And I'm like, yeah, let's go to Buc-ee's and see what they had. We buy t-shirts there. I've bought jewelry there. I've bought baby clothes there and baby gifts there. I've bought everything. I get my husband jerky every time I go, and it's just so much fun. So it's a novelty thing, but it's something that we do. And then I just could not fix dinner that night. I don't know what it was. I was having a bad day, and so we ordered Buffalo Wild Wings for $43.92. Now these are all delivered except for the Buc-ee's, so they have tip included. So there's that. I'm going to go ahead and total this up. All right, we have $132.55. There we go there. And then miscellaneous. We have two miscellaneous here. The first one is Lowe's, and that is $34.31. And at Lowe's, we bought a post hole digger in order to put our mailbox back up. So the post that my mailbox had, the wood had rotted, and my husband tapped it with the lawnmower the last time he cut grass weeks and weeks ago, and it fell over. So we have been using Gorilla Tape and this other stuff to hold up the mailbox so the mailman can put mail in. But we needed to replace the, I think it's a 4x4 post. And anyways, and put the mailbox back up. So that was so funny. And so we went to Lowe's and got a post hole digger, and that's what that was for. The wood and all that supplies we bought, I think the previous weekend. Yeah, back there. So that's what all that was about. We tried to look for a friend that might have a post hole digger and did not find one. I've already totaled these two up. Go ahead and get the answer. The next thing I have here is $43.33, and that's only part of what I spent. It's over here on Amazon. It was actually $83.33, but $40 of it went to or got paid by the Christmas sinking fund. So I've already put money on the credit card to pay that, and the checking account is going to pay for this $43.33. So $40 came out of sinking funds. I keep it in savings. It's the same bank that we have our credit card with, so everything is transferable within all the different accounts, and all I gotta do is just do a transfer. And so I did that, you know, off screen, I guess you could say, and made that transfer. But I don't put it here because this only reflects the checking account. So the only transaction that will be changing is this part of the transfer. So that's what that is. And then I have no gas, no copay, and I have a $70 bill, which I showed you earlier. Oops. So I'm going to go ahead and check these off because these are all taken care of. And that is all my spending right there. So now what I need to do, I know I didn't add any new money to the groceries here. This $433.82. Sorry if I'm confusing you guys. And then we spent $274.02. I can't believe I forgot to do this last time. So my new balance left over for the weekly check-in for this minus the $274.02 is $159.80. And that is correct. So I went and looked back at my spreadsheet to make sure I got the math right. Sometimes I make a mess of things. There we go. So these check marks mean that I paid the balance on the credit card. I have not done that yet. I will be doing that. So that is what that was. And then restaurants, we spent $132.55. And I had a negative balance here, so basically these two negatives will keep carrying forward, and I'm going to have a negative balance here. So that is negative 1041, and that'll make this here, trying to keep it out of the light, 1041 plus the 132.55 is a negative 142.96. So that's over budget, and groceries look like it could definitely take care of that. And then let's see, so I'm over budget there. And then the miscellaneous, I had 220 cents left over, and we spent $77.64 out of that, and that will give us typically I budget a little bit of money for each week, but I forgot this 5th week I was just balancing forward everything from the previous week. And that's what threw me off this time. $122.56. So I still have money left over there. Okay, the numbers here I can now take that information and total up what I have charged on the credit card, so I know how much money we have to pay the credit card back, and to see if when I close out Paycheck 3 over here that it will cover everything. So let's go ahead and get these numbers for the credit card and see how much I owe the credit card. Now if you're new, I put all my spending on a credit card, then after I do the weekly check-in, I make a payment to that credit card in order to keep my credit card paid off. I have transaction logs where I keep track of all the spending back here and when I pay and what I pay for and things like that. But the weekly check-in calendar here is essentially the same thing, except for it doesn't track when I make a payment. And that's what the other logs are for. So let's go ahead and total this up. Okay, so So right now, including the bills and all the spending that went on the actual credit card, I have $554.21 that I owe. And when I looked at my credit card statement just before to see what the balance was on my computer, it was the exact same number. So I am good to go there as far as making the correct payment for everything that I spent and bringing the account back to zero. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into putting the information I need over here from the weekly check-in to Paycheck 3. So Paycheck 3, I think, was week 4 and week 5. So if I total these two numbers together for grocery household, that will give me the total I need right here for the actual spending. So 171.35 plus the 274.02, and that gives me 400. I'm going to check my $445.37. So that is how much we spent in grocery household this last part of the month, and it looks like I gave myself plenty of room in the budget for groceries and any spending for the house, and I have money left over, so that looks good. Restaurants, I only had $104.79, and between these two I went over that. So $115.20 plus the $132.55, and that gives me $247.75. I'm also checking my spreadsheet over here, make sure my math is correct, and it is. And so $247.75, and that's pretty much double more than double. Oh Lord, what I had planned. But you know, it was our birthday month, and we went out a few extra times, and it happens. So not too outrageous, but enough to be over budget by $142. Miscellaneous. So miscellaneous was $156.76 last week, and then this week was $77.64, and that is $234.40. And then I have gasoline. So you're not going to see gasoline on here. I have it off to the side here. But we did have to go over budget. So we did have two purchases of gas. It was the $60.01 and the $43.58. And that was the total there. And so we spent $103.59, and if I subtract this $40.20, that gives me an overage. Not sure if you saw the camera at all where it was. What was left over is $63.39 over budget. So that's not what was left over. That was over budget. So yeah, we spent extra gas, but I think we did some extra driving that we normally don't do. So we did not spend any copay during this time, so I still have that $15 left over. And as far as the unbudgeted, we don't have any unbudgeted. So there we go. Yeah, both of these are zero, so we're good to go there. Now I have all my actual numbers in. I did not go to Dr. Odell this month, which is surprising. Did go to Christian counseling. We did meet with a lawyer for they're part of Life Plan of Kentucky, but that wasn't what it was. It was she did our wills and our medical power of attorneys and things like that, so that we have those on file to tie in with our son's special needs trust that we set up. So we did a lot of legal stuff here, and this was $859. I just pulled that from a savings account. I didn't save up for it, but I have enough in savings that I could swing it and just use that instead of like vacation money or something like that. And so I transferred funds. That's the extra funds that I have for Paycheck 3. And then I added $2.36. It was quite interesting, and I think it was on my other channel, but it may have been this channel, that I got a coffee from a viewer on my YouTube channel, and they paid, it's a program called Ko-fi, and it's a link for creative content creators like myself. If you want to support their channel, you just go to the link and you can buy them a cup of coffee. It's $3. And I just have that out there if somebody's interested in donating to keep me going on this channel and encourage and buy me a cup of coffee. I don't drink coffee, but and I don't drink tea, so I will buy plenty of water with it. But it was $2.36 once it came through, because it goes through PayPal. Once it came through PayPal, I transferred it over, so it was kind of cool. I thought it was really sweet, and if you are the one that did it, thank you so much. I appreciate that. But I don't really talk about that link very much. I just have it in the description box below if you're ever interested in wanting to support the channel in a financial way. So there you go. Let's go ahead and get my actuals ready. So we have $6.15 from last paycheck period to this one that we bounced over. My husband's paycheck was $2,552.36 plus the $59 that I transferred to cover the check for the lawyer, and then $2.36 from my donation for coffee. That came up to $3,419.87. This is everything that happens in the checking account. What we're trying to accomplish here is the balance of my checking account before the new paycheck hits. So I will know how much money to put into savings, and I won't transfer those funds until the first of the next month. That way I don't have anything, I don't get too low in my bank account. I don't like it sitting at zero or at a couple $100. I just kind of wait until the next paycheck and then I move all the money. So it works best to do it that way. Okay, so this is my actual deposits income for paycheck 3. I need to do my actuals for the variable expenses. So let's go ahead and total this up. All right, so we have $1,960.11. All right, and now I need to take the $3,419.87 minus the $1,285.43 minus the $1,960.11. All right, we have $174.33 left over in the month of October. So now I can take that number and know how much I can transfer of October's money, so I can start fresh and new with November's money starting November 1st, which is tomorrow morning. So yeah, that's what I have here. This is the closeout for October, and it turned out pretty good. I'm glad that we're still in positive numbers. That doesn't always happen. So, and I'm glad that, especially for our birthday, we did stay within the actual income that came in for the month. Okay, so that is me closing out my budget. The weekly check-in's done. Paycheck 3 closed out, and I know my actual savings. So now I'm going to go back to the beginning. If you're done, go ahead and click off this video. But if you want to see what my month looked like, the stickers are the same. If you're looking, stickers don't change. I use the same set all month. But this is what my calendar looked like. I put all my bills down. I put what days were paydays, and then how much the pay was on my calendar here. And then I do a monthly budget, which I haven't closed this out. Once I finish this one, I come back and close this one. And these two typically match. A potential savings was going to be $559, but we did extra spending and we're over budget in a few of these categories. So yes, I will have to put, well, I have my actual in the paycheck budget, so I don't have to worry about that. I do have a savings tracker and I have a sinking funds tracker. And I'm just going to do this one here. So my sinking funds, there's a couple changes with my sinking funds. Again, Disney Plus, I closed it out. I transferred the money into the checking account to have an extra little bit of cash in the checking account. And we used it for our birthday, I think. And then ESPN Plus, my husband wasn't, we didn't renew that subscription. We had it last year. We didn't renew it for this year. So we just took $180.09 and moved that over. You'll see that in Paycheck too. And then these closed out at 0. I will not be funding these going forward. So what I have is just one account. It could be a checking account, it could be a savings account, it could be whatever account you want it to be. But you have an account and you put a little bit, you find out what your categories are, and you put a little bit of money each month for each category. So as you can see, I had 5 transactions this month. I closed out 2 of them because I decided we weren't going to do them anymore. And then I paid $40 for the Christmas fund. I paid $144 for Epidemic Sound. I like the music that's on there, and I use them in my videos, so I have that, and that's paid. I made that payment. So when that hit the credit card, all I did was make a payment from this savings account to my credit card. Easy peasy, especially because they're all in the same bank. I just do a quick transfer and it's done. And I made that payment. So it does not hit the budget. It only affects this savings account that I have, and it makes a payment to the credit card where it was charged, and it kind of zeroes itself out. The trash was paid this month, and then what was left over, because I have to estimate how much it's going to cost. So on average, it's $30 a month. I had $6.69 left over. That'll carry over. I can move that to something else if I wanted to add more money to something else, or I just let it sit there and then deal with it later. Obviously, I still haven't finished paying off my stickers that I borrowed money out of here from. That's okay. I will get to that. And I could do that anytime. I just haven't. I just didn't do it. Dividends, we get like 45 cents a month on the average. And I know one month I took $10 or $11 and paid towards something. And I still have $10.91 left this month. So these are my sinking funds. Going forward, these 2 will not be there. And then I will keep funding in these smaller increments. And that's why when I do my sinking funds transfer during Paycheck 3, I do a number of like $300, $400, because that totals all of these different things and that I'm funding. It just depends on what you want to do and how you want to fund what you want to fund. I save up for an entire year. If I know something's $120, I do $10 a month. I put it in this account. I just transfer it over. If I transfer it, including all these other little different numbers as well, and it makes one large number, I just do one transfer and everything catches up all at once. If you looked at the bank account, it's not broken down by all these. It's just one number. It's just one number. But I track it in a tracker so I know how much of this one number belongs to what category. And that is how I confidently know how to pay every time something pops up that is part of a sinking fund. I typically do annual subscriptions, maintenance, quarterly things like our Orkin comes quarterly, like tags and registration for vehicles. I put that a little bit every month in there. I put $50 for cell phone tech. So if something happens wrong and I need something fixed, or if I need to buy something new or refurbished or anything like that, then I have a little chunk of change put aside so it softens the blow on anything I need to spend on cell phone or tech. Christmas, like I'm at $540. I've already started buying gifts a little bit here. Activities fund, I can use that for any activities that we want to do over Christmas time, especially if we want to buy tickets like to see Christmas lights at the horse park or something like that. I can take the money out of here, or even throughout the year, just different things. If we decide to go to the zoo and want to buy tickets for the zoo or whatever, we can use this fund to do that. Canva, it's not due until April, so I'll decide between now and April if I still want to keep the pro version or not. Xander Identity Theft, that's going to be coming out soon, so I'll be paying for that in November. I already paid for Epidemic Sound. Norton, my husband's Norton for his laptop, should be coming out soon, by the end of December. Trash or propane, whenever they charge us or fill up our tank and then charge us for the amount of propane, then that is what I'll use to pay for that. And this one I'm just putting $10 a month until it goes away. And then dividends, this is just a placeholder for any extra dividends I can use, and I can take them and use them for any of the categories if I need them as a necessity. If not, I just let it sit there and grow and don't even worry about it. So that is the sinking funds. I write scripture on here. I didn't really put in a lot of notes, but you can put a lot of notes on here. Savings tracker. This is how I track what I have in this account. This is a money market account, which brings in higher dividend rate. Let's see. I did use our emergency fund to pay for our son's bed, which was $1,100, and then the wills and the POA. This is the savings account it came out of, and that was these two items. That was over $2,000. And then I did do a cash rewards deposit of $1,000 for vacation and home projects, and we're getting ready to go on vacation, and I'm excited about that, so I'll let you know about that next month. But I have $4,685.05. That'll cover the hotel, and that'll also cover any tickets and spending and stuff like that we want to do while we are there. Obviously, I'm going to use my credit card to pay for everything, and then when I get home, I will take those transactions, and then I will come back here and use this to pay for it. I get about $63 to $65 a month on dividends, and I'm up to $539 a month. Now, and this is just a small savings account down here as well. I call it tithe savings. When we were transferring, I can't get military out of my head. When we moved from Virginia to Kentucky, when my husband was done doing Navy work, and we found our forever home. So we just put our tithing in here, and we're just waiting for opportunities of God to give us where He wants this to go, and or just leave it here. So I just leave it here until I know when my husband and I come into agreement and are led to give something. We'll probably do this about Christmas time. I don't know how much of giving we'll be doing, but I think we'll definitely be giving over Christmas. With the church that we're currently attending, they kind of do one big gift as a church. Our previous church called it a gift to Christ. This church calls it something totally different, which is fine. And it all kind of means the same thing. So sometimes it's an organization, sometimes it's a fund, like a missionary, or fund a building, or fund something. So yeah, it just depends on what it is. So I'm excited to find out what that's going to be about. That's the monthly budget. Paycheck 1, we ended up with $146.15 left over. Everything was pretty much the same as I have every month. Nothing new in the deposits, and nothing really new in the transaction area. So yeah, did pretty good there. And then Paycheck 2. The electric didn't come out until Paycheck 3, so I had to move that. Yeah, I had to move that, and then that's what those arrows mean. But I did spend quite a bit, and we just squeaked in with $6.15 of left over in the checking account before the new deposit was made. So yeah, that's just kind of really close there. A lot of spending going on. It was our birthdays and stuff like that. It was the 6th through the 19th. So yeah. And then we just finished Paycheck 3. So there's that. We are done. It's been a good month. I think this is great. We still have cash left over, and I can put that towards our vacation fund. I think that's what I'm going to do, and just max maximize all the possibilities that are available. So that is what I have here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Have an amazing and blessed day. Bye.
So offshore, playful and free, without a care in the world. I was one rich little girl, daydreamer, kidnap me, take me back.